In this tutorial, you will learn how to make this amazing wall foam flower set. All materials are included in our wall foam flower kit. So we grab our hydrangeas. We're going to work with one hydrangea. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it sideways like in three, because that's kind of like 1, 2, 3 inches. And we need 12 pieces of 3-inch flowers. So we fold like this in three. And we're just going to cut 1, 2, 3 inches. So I'm just kind of eyeballing. 1, 2, 3. A little bit short. A little bit more because I think I cut it a little bit just, but it won't matter. 1, 2, 3. You should be left with approximately 1, 2, 3. This is just a little bit more, so cut it a little smaller. So you're left with 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches at the end. And these are your 12 pieces, so we're going to cut the 12 squares. And these are the hydrangea flowers. So we're going to cut 1, 2. So we got these, right? And now we're going to, once you're cut, you want to make your little flowers. So you're going to fold in 3, and you're going to cut like that with 2 little edges, 1 little edge, and we're just going to leave that little thing here. You just want to make this little. So there's your hydrangea. It's a point. You may want to make it a little bit. May want to round that off. I do some hydrangeas rounded, like the giant one is usually rounded, but I kind of like this one a little bit more pointy, whichever you prefer, and you just make sure that your little tips are together, and you cut to the side, and you've got your hydrangea. You're going to do with all these 12 petals. Now on your instructions, you've got the 20, I'm working on the 2 hydrangeas at the same time, but for purposes of this video, so you won't get too bored, we're doing it one by one, and then I'll just, so we're going to continue with this, and we're going to cut our 12 hydrangea flowers. Very simple. Cutest little wallflower that is just going to be amazing. And we cut again our edges, and I am just going to time lapse the rest. So now we're going to paint in this case, and depends on whatever color you want. I'm just going to put a little bit of black because this is a very dramatic set, the red, white, and we're just going to grab, and this is a simple paper napkin, so you're just going to want to paint the edges. And it's so easy peasy. Now if you're using a very dark color, be careful with that. You can also use a little wipey and cut it out, but I am going to put a little bit dark here, so, but not as dark as the edges. So we're going to do, then we go to the other side. Once this is dry, I'm just going to put a little bit, see, a simple paper napkin or cheesecloth or whatever you. So it's really up to you. There is no wrong or right. And I am going to put a little bit. Make sure you go from the center towards the outside. And I am going to delineate it a little bit more, and I'll leave it right up, but it still looks really nice. Now, if you're doing this one, the dramatic one, the red, white, and there is no right or wrong. So we're going to do and we want to check the back part. We don't want to get it too messed up. Very little paint. And we're going to continue with our 12 pieces. So now in the next part of our hydrangea, we're going to start thermoforming the petals. You can do it by hand or use, this is a like 1.5 2-inch styrofoam ball. But, so we're going to warm up our petals. And we're just going to stretch it over the ball. And I personally like to wrinkle these up a little bit. So this is a little flower. Now we can try. Now with your hand, it's also a little bit easier. You just stretch it out like that. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Let's warm this one up. It got cold again. And then you just kind of close it up so it's a little bit close like that. You see? It just has a little simple thermoform. Here, I kind of like it better with the hands. So, one. You just stretch it out like that. So we're going to finish thermoforming all these petals. And you want to give it a little twist just so it goes like that. And I'm going to thermoform these two. Look at that, how pretty it looks. So we're going to continue the 12 and work on our hydrangea. So now for our next step, we're going to take 4 of our wires, because we got 12 little flowers for our hydrangea. We're going to cut these 4 wires in 3 equal parts. So approximately that's around here. So you're going to cut them. They don't have to be perfect. So you can have 4 of these. Well, actually 12. Each one for a little flower. So now that you have your 12 wires, you're going to take your pack of buds that comes in your kit, and we're just going to divide it in 2 for the other flower. A little bit. I'm just going to take them in 2, approximately, and we're just going to calculate like up 6 to 7 pistils. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to take 7 here. And we're just going to fold it in half like that. We're going to take one of our wires, we're going to take our needle nose pliers and make a little hook. Hook it in here, and we're going to close it up. And you can twist it, you know, to get it stronger. But you're going to put floral wire over it, so you don't have to worry that much. So there's your little, now you're going to grab your floral wire, your floral tape, I'm sorry, and we're just going to cut a little piece. Doesn't have to be big because we're not going to wire it all the way down. We're not going to tape it all the way down, just this part. So here we go. We're going to tape it up. Unless you want to tape it all the way down, but I'm not going to do it because it doesn't really show. So you got here. And we're just going to insert it through the middle of our bud, through the middle of our flower, and you can decide what height you want it. I like it like halfway right here. And there's your hydrangea flower. So what we're going to do is, just to keep it in place, I'm going to put a little bit of my craft glue. And glue it. And just hold it there. You can use your glue gun or whichever glue you find fit. So here's your flower. Now we need to do 12 of these. So let's go on the next one. So again, we take 6 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take another one. Oh, this one's a double one. So we're going to take them up. We're going to stretch them out. Make sure the pistils are on the edge, folded. Grab one of our wires. Make a little hook. Hook it there. Tie it up. And then just grab a little bit of floral tape, and we're going to take half of it so they can hold up straight, and there is where you're going to put it, insert it through the flower. So we're going to go all the way down. Or you may want to cut it. I'm going to go just here. Now you may have a green one, or I don't know what color you're doing, so we're just going to push it in through here. And you can leave it that high. I personally like it a little bit less, but whichever you feel more comfortable with. And then you just glue the bottom or glue the front. And there you go. So it's pretty easy peasy. So just going to do one more, and then I'm just going to time lapse the rest. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. And here we go. And you have it here. Again, we cut a little bit of our floral tape. We wrap it around like halfway through the pistils. Make sure they're standing up. And there you go. Look at that. Cutie. So now that you have the, and there's, we're just going to insert it and glue it. Make sure you open up and it glues properly. And there you go. So now that we have all our hydrangea flowers done, we're just going to make 4 groups of 3. Now you can grab them all together. I kind of like to do it like this because it makes it a little bit sturdier. And you're going to leave around 2 inches, inch and a half, and we are going to wire tape them up again, group them together, and just tape them up. So you grab 3, and then I'm going to grab another 3 over here. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, so you're just going to kind of group them like that together. And I'm going to put a little bit of floral tape and just group them together. And here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3. Very, very easy. 1, 2, 3. We're going to group 3 together, like this one. Make sure they're all kind of like at the same length. Yeah, right there. I think I left the tape a little bit too short there, but yeah, it'll have to do. So you're going to have 4 sets of 3 flowers. I'm going to tape these together. So we got 1, open it up, 2. So you're going to do like 1 center and 3 on each side. And look how pretty it looks on that side. Yeah, so you've got your little hydrangea. You just open up your buds. You can fix them up later. And then you're just going to, now that the end right here, like this little bouquet, we're just going to make a little wrap. And then we're going to wrap, because that's going to be basically your base. That long strip of foam, you're just going to wrap it around. So I'm wrapping this up like that. So there's like an inch, inch and a half. So you're going to wrap this up approximately 2 inches, because around this is where you're going to wrap your EVA. That little strip we had, we're just going to wrap it around here, but we're going to put some glue on it. So that 2-inch strip, this is going to be your base. So we're going to go glue it. Make sure right here you leave the flush, because that's going to go to the wall. So that little strip we cut, we're just going to go around like that and go adding some glue to it. I had to make a little, ooh. So we have this little thing here. And right here, we're going to cut all this excess wire, or you can actually open it to the side to make it a little bit sturdier. But you don't really have to. We're just going to cover this with a little leftover foam and cutting your flowers. see my little pieces. Oh, I have tiny little pieces. I think I cut it too much, but I have another little piece here. Okay, so I am just going to cut this off, this excess wire. Now this little thing is what's going to hang to the wall. We're just going to open this up. Open this up to the side a little bit more. Leave the top one. And we leave them 3. We open them up. These 3 we open up. These 3 we open up. And these 3 are pretty good. So you got it, you know. So that's how it's supposed to look now if it goes to the wall. So you may want to, I kind of did this too long because it's going to go way out. It won't be noticeable, but you may want to cut this too, which I'm going to, I think I'm going to do because I left it a little bit way too much. I don't want it that, you know, that I want it a little bit more flush to the wall. So you just cut this little thing. And I'm just going to have to cut this up right here. It all depends on you and how you want it on your wall. I've left it a little bit too flush. Too long. I'm going to put excess glue here. A lot of glue. And then from a little strip, you're just going to cover that up because you're going to cover it twice. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cut through this. And then we're going to grab one of our thirds of wire that we already had previously cut in our other flowers. And we're going to do the same little hanging thing. But this time you're going to have to do it a little bit shorter. And don't forget, we need to make these little things. And put another piece of foam. Just like this, we're going to do the same thing all over. Just like that. And I'm going to glue a little bit here. I didn't cut out the square first because it's just so small. And I'll just do it double. So you have your hanging thing here. So when you hang it on the wall, make sure it glues pretty good. I like my craft glue better. I'm using hot silicone glue, which is pretty good, but I mean, it works. And there you go. There's your wall hydrangea, and you just hang it right here. It's gorgeous. So now repeat the next flower. You can open them up more. And just look at that gorgeousness. Or close them up more, whichever you want them, like really closed up or a little bit more out. And there we go.